During the years leading up to the Protestant Reformation, there was a resurgence going on throughout Europe. Of course, we know this as the Renaissance period. There was a rebirth of learning, knowledge, universities, schools began to pop up all across the landscape. People began to rethink and think in new ways. It was a rebirth of learning. Vibrant cities began to be filled with music, intellect, and cultural growth. There was a man during this period of time. His name was Erasmus of Rotterdam. He was a Catholic priest. He had grown up in a Catholic home, and he was encouraged to follow in the footsteps of his father, who was himself a priest. Though initially he wanted to go towards the monastic life, he was rather encouraged to go and study in several universities. During this period, there were influential leaders that were influencing how people thought. One of the rallying cries of Erasmus became a Latin phrase known as ad fontes, which simply means back to the sources. The schools that he attended and the professors that he learned under were men who were devoted to what the apostolic fathers taught. There was a resurgence, if you will, of these early documents, these early writers. And what Erasmus was committed to was giving the church a fresh translation. For centuries, for over 1,000 years, the church had used only one translation, and that was the Latin Vulgate. The problem was that nobody read Latin. And since nobody could read Latin, there was a problem. People had to rely on those who could read Latin, which was very few and far between. And one of Erasmus's goals was to go back and write a Greek New Testament so that new and fresh translations could be translated from his translation or from this Greek New Testament into the vernacular of the people of Europe. This is what he did. He committed himself to getting God's words in the hands of God's people. And it was this early work, before men like Martin Luther were even on the scene, that laid the foundation, that turned the key, that unlocked what became the Protestant Reformation. What it was is that when the people of God are given the Word of God,